I'm Becca. Okay. My story is that I was looking at all the pictures on the wall, and I saw a picture of me, and I was like, wait a sec, I don't remember having that picture taken. I don't know those guys. And then my friend came up next to me, and she's like, wait, that's a picture of me. And then I'm like, really? And then I was also, how old are you? And she's all 24. And I was like, wow, can I have your ID? Because I'm only 16. And now I have an identification, and I can buy alcohol. Thank you. You're welcome. What's your name?
My name is Jemuel.
Okay.
I used to come here a lot, and no one really talked to me until my friend Adam came here, and he's a very, very talkative person. And just by being around him, I talked to lots of people, or they talked to me. And then I became to know everyone. Now Adam doesn't go here at all because he has a girlfriend, and I am a coordinator, and he's not. Okay.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
Say your name.
Bill.
By your name?
No, why do I gotta go by my real name?
Fine.
Alright. Me and Jeff had these Coffee Mate non-dairy creamer packets, and we'd open them up, open up a bunch and put them into a cup, and go up to the sound booth and pour them down and light them on fire because they're flammable. And one time, we lit this kid's sweater on fire by doing it, and we were like, roll down on the floor, and he bent down, he bent his knees and then hit his arm. He didn't hit the ground, he just knelt. And then he just started hitting his arm with his hand, and he didn't have a glove on or anything, and he goes, ow! And then went back to hitting. And it was his first time coming to Gilman. And he said that he'll try to come back every show, but we never saw him.
Thank you. Okay, this is Jake.
Alright, I was a 16-year-old green-haired punk rock stoner when I first heard two bands that have since become my favorites. A friend of mine had dubbed me two 30-minute comp tapes featuring bands like Blatz, Nausea, and Logical Nonsense that I've gone on to love, and a couple bands I don't really care much for now. But there were two bands that stood out and rocked the most, Filth and Grimple. I knew nothing about them. At the time, I didn't know shit, so I didn't even know if they were from around here, but I didn't care. The songs Filth, by obviously Filth, and Please Come In by Grimple were the shit. After a while, I discovered the magic even more when I picked up the Live the Chaos EP and eventually got a dub of Grimple Up Your Ass. I also eventually picked up the Shit Split on cassette and was sold even more. In a brief note, my mother was the one who told me about Gilman back in 1992. We even drove by it one day. I was an asshole snot-nosed neo-Nazi punk-ass motherfucker that liked MDC at the time, and figured that if there are punk bands around today, either they sounded like Nirvana or they were all quote-unquote PC faggots. I wouldn't even look at Gilman that day. Oops. If I was perhaps a bit more open-minded, I could have actually seen Filth, Grimple, Blatz, Econochrist, Chaos UK, blah blah blah. I didn't actually start going to Gilman in early '94, unfortunately. Yes, I'm an idiot. But anyway, yes, I love Filth and Grimple, and I don't have any of their patches, but I love the fuck out of them anyway. I kicked myself whenever it was late at night and I was listening to either of these bands and not listening to my mom. But I did get to see Filth and Grimple, but it cost a long-time scene contributor his life in order to get there. Rich Lucky Gargano was the bassist for an old East Bay band called the Crummy Musicians and went on to play for the band 15. 15's a classic in East Bay parts and lots of people love them. Lucky had lots of friends among the older punk set and I guess was loved like a brother. I wouldn't know. I didn't know him. But he did beat up one of my friends one night because my friend was drunk and obnoxiously said that Punk was dead. Anyway, one day Lucky killed himself, and I found that out from an acquaintance at Cody's Books. I felt bad because she was miserable oftentimes. It was even worse now. Well, at a little warehouse in East Oakland, Lucky's memorial took place. It was a benefit for some good cause I had forgotten and borrowed $5 from a friend to get in. Later on, I found out that the money from the show was going towards Lucky's girlfriend, Monica, who's a friend of mine, but I didn't know that at the time. But anyway, fucking Filth, The List, Freedom, Butt Shits, Night of Rage, that cover of Peter and the Test Tube Babies, banned from the pubs, fucking Grimple, Energy, Violent Fuck, Walls of Shit, A Fucked Up Beautiful Day, and of course, that cover of Celtic Frost's Dethroned Emperor. Filth and Grimple got back together for that one show and played with Exodus in 1332 to raise the money. I felt kind of selfish, especially since I didn't know Lucky and even felt like that I had no right being there because of that. But I decided not only was I getting to see my favorite bands, but this was true friendship. Friendship to the end, and even past the end. To some people, it would be a learning experience. And I sure as shit saw Filth and Grimple. There were some younger kids at the show who had barely been into punk for a year, came to see 1332 and Grimple, and then left. What the fuck? Oh well, they didn't get shit out of the show then. They waited maybe 6 months, if even that. I waited almost 4 years. I think I had a better time, and I think I left that show a fuck of a lot more happier than those kids. After the show, I practically broke down in tears in front of 2 friends of mine. After 4 long years, which includes many hard times, countless nervous breakdowns, homelessness, being suicidal, depression, happiness, alcoholism, sobriety, having a claustrophobia attack during the show, and almost getting in very stupid fights during this same show, I finally met the unattainable goal and felt very different on that ride back to my friend's house that night. I also almost found Jake Sales, who is the ex-Filth vocalist, and battled like an idiot to him about how much seeing Filth and Grimple meant to me. It's probably better that I didn't, but this is what I would have said along the lines. I shall quote, "Even though I don't think you like me very much, thank you, Jake, for making music that helped keep me alive in trying times. I was a 16-year-old alcoholic and slight drug addict when I first heard Filth, and the music and the words were just as powerful in 1998 as they were to me in 1994. Filth and Grimple have been my favorite bands for a long time and will continue to be long until I'm dead. Bands like yours have kept me alive. This is a beautiful thing you've done tonight for your friend and for the kids who never got to see these bands originally," and so on and so forth. And now, if you think I'm a geek, a wimp, a pussy, a fag, a dork, or just a completely unpunked dumbass for that rant, fuck you. That whole rant was fucking true. Music saves people's lives sometimes, and punk rock saved mine. Fuck you all, and even if you happen to be Jake Sales, but I would hope that Jake Sales doesn't harbor that opinion. And Lucky, I'm not going to pretend that I knew you, but rest in peace all the same. And Monica, I hope the money that was made at the benefit helped you out in whatever it is that you need. And if you weren't at the show, I feel sorry for you and laugh at you at the same time, but only in a slightly antagonizing fashion.
Okay, say your name.
My name's Sean. Let's see. One funny story, because there are so many, is the night that my band played here, and we'd been together for about a year, and our drummer, 5 minutes before we played, decided to take a hit of acid. And he, being an experienced fucking loady, knew that it would only take it would take about half an hour before it set in, and we would be done playing by then. And then we started playing, and then right into the first song, it started kicking in. And halfway through one song, he just stopped playing and got up and walked away. And we had to have people bring him back up on stage. And we were completely oblivious to the whole thing. But one of the things I remember the most is him between songs just slamming around on the cymbals and then stopping and saying, "I have lots of cymbals." He was on acid and it sucked.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Angel Cowgill, and I was at Gilman last weekend for the Peachy show, and I was wearing my new jacket, and I was really drunk, and I didn't know, and I was acting like a retard, and this guy spit on me on purpose. That's fucked up. I know. I was really mad. But that's my story.
What's your name?
Aaron.
Okay.
And whenever I would tell people that I was in Berkeley for the summer, they'd be like, "Oh, Gilman, Gilman," and they bow down to me like we're going there. It's like, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Say your name.
Matt Dennerline.
Do you have a story?
Do I have a story?
Yeah.
Like what kind of story?
Back on.
Well, let's see. The first time I came down to Gilman was 1992, and I don't remember really what show we saw, but I hitchhiked down here with a friend of mine. It was during the summer, and the actual process of getting down here was better than being down here because we really didn't know anybody and had to sleep on the streets and stuff. But we hitchhiked down here and got picked up first by a trucker that was on lots of speed and drove from Eugene all the way down to Redding, California. And then we got picked up from Redding by this couple in this big 70s boat car. The lady was a huge, giant, fat woman. Sorry. And the man
her husband, I guess, was this tiny, itty-bitty, scrawny guy that weighed no more than 120 pounds. And this was great amusement for me and my friend Dan. And I didn't come back to Gilman for about 3 years, and then I came back here, and I was in the Navy when I did, and the first show we saw was the Hellbillies, actually. So,
You were playing that.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it's a coinky dink. So, and that's my Gilman story, I guess.
Thank you.
What's your name? I'm Cece Moss, and I'm the 1997 Punk Prom Queen. And I beat Lauren. Okay.
You had that one dress on in the
Yeah, I had a huge wig. It was a big afro, and I had this big pink sparkly dress that had lots of sequins on it, and it was Sleater Kinney, and I was Punk Prom Queen, and I got up on stage with all the other contestants, and I danced better than anybody else, so I got to be queen. And the whole club was cheering for me, and I had a Burger King hat, and it was wonderful, and everybody was screaming, Cece! And I'm forever going to be Punk Prom Queen. Okay. What's your name?
My name's Dan Frantic. I live in San Francisco, and I was at a show at Gilman a couple years back with my friend Pablo. There was a crusty girl outside who had had a little bit too much to drink and a little bit too many drugs injected intravenously through her arm, and she was having some troubles keeping conscious. So she passed out in front of the club and accidentally lost her bladder control and urinated all over the front of the club. So it was a nice long show, and the show was over. We were all sort of tired. We decided to retire outside the club, and my friend Pablo, like I said, was a little bit tired. He decided to take a nap, lay down in the street. So he laid down right in this girl's urine and lay there for about 5 minutes until someone pointed it out.
Thank you.
My name's Laird, and one time there was this guy hanging out front, and he was so drunk he tried to smoke a Cheeto, and it actually lit on fire. It just stayed burning like a candle or something. You know that guy?
Yeah, thank you.
Your name? Nancy.
Okay.
I don't know if this would be good to record or anything, but one time I passed out right over there and I was throwing up and I was really sick. It was at a Black Fork show and I missed them.
Oh, that's so sad. I love Black Fork. Okay, thank you. Can I take your picture?
Yeah.
My name is Jeremy Steele. The second show I ever worked at Gilman was in May of 1990, and MDC was playing. That's right. That's why the whole incident happened. MDC headlined that night, and at the time they had a big, not rivalry because they weren't vying for the same thing, but they had a big. They would have confrontations at their shows on a regular basis with Nazi skinheads. So about midway through the second band, someone runs in and says there are about 40 to 50 Nazi skinheads down the street and they're all going to try to come into the club. So there was probably about 8 or 10 people who went out front and basically for 15 to 20 minutes fought with these 40 Nazi skins. And at the time there was these two guys, Billy and Bart, that were the so-called leaders of these, idiots. And I remember Dave MTC running out of the club with this aluminum crutch and bashing the crap out of Billy's. He had this Bronco, and like breaking the front headlights, and one of the side windows as they went racing out of here. And it always amazed me because there was at least 40 of them. There was only literally maybe at most 14 of us, and we managed to A, prevent them from coming to the club, and B, get them to leave. That's pretty much the that story. I don't remember. It was I think 92. No, it was 91. There was this hardcore band, Agnostic Front, and they had a $10,000 exclusive guarantee with the Omni. to play there, nowhere else in the Bay Area. And that was on a Thursday night, and apparently 4 songs into this set, they'd been watching the bouncers beat the crap out of the kids who were at the show. So they stopped the show, and they're like, well, we're not going to play here anymore. We're going to be down at Gilman tomorrow night. And so Friday night rolls around here. You got all these kids coming up going, hey, someone said Agnostic Front was going to play here. Agnostic Front said they were going to play here last night. I'm like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. Yeah, like we could actually pay them, you know, because we knew about the $10,000 guarantee, because somebody had actually tried to book them. And then, like, I think it was midway through the show, they showed up with, you know, the band and their equipment, and they were like, well, we want to play. And we're like, well, we don't really have enough money to pay you at all. And they're like, we'll play for burritos. And so they played. And they played underneath the White Trash Debutantes headline. So the White Trash Debutantes have this weird kind of the dress-up punk kind of crowd. So it was a whole bunch of people here to see the Agnostic Front, you know, play, and then all these dress-up punks here for the White Trash Debutantes. And we actually had no problems that night. We had actually more problems on, you know, mail-order shows than that. Huh?
My name is Jeff, and I'm doing another story. Because my last story was too dark, kind of sad. Okay, it was the first time I went to Gilman. I had this friend who used to call Calix all the time and get free tickets. So always invite me, but no, I don't want to go. But eventually I did it, I don't know why. It was the high fives, wanky tunes, and kill. I told the high fives, and I was really, really impressed by like all the kids were dancing. I'd never seen a dance show before. They're all boogieing down, and like there's like a circle go around I has to do. And like there's 2 kids in the middle of the circle just boogieing down. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And now one of my favorite things is dancing at shows, especially in Gilman. Okay.
And your name? You can do a fake name if you want.
Fake name. Alright. Came here one night for a show. I want to talk to you, not this name.
I'm mostly yours.
I'm loud enough. I came here for this shitty show. My friend was coming out from Reno, right? And he wanted to come here. So he said, fuck it, let's go to Gilman one night. We didn't know who the fuck was playing. We come here. And my friend gets paged by some girls, so you have to go up there to call her on the phone. And we go up to the Walgreens up here. And we're, going to the phone. A guy in a fucking ski mask comes out of Walgreens with a big shotgun.
Damn.
Fucking comes outside. We're like halfway. We're like, I don't know, maybe 30 yards from him. And he's like, get down the motherfucking ground. And we're like, fucking run behind a car. He had a big old Chevy Nova. And maybe like 2 minutes later, after we were hiding behind this car, 6 other guys run out in masks out of the Walgreens. Wow. Now, supposedly this had happened like the night before or something near the show, and someone had like shot at Gilman. Like I guess supposedly someone shot out here.
Yeah.
Like that. Right? So we just heard about that. Someone told us about that. And then we're walking the street, and some guy pulls a shotgun on us, right? And then, we're all scared shitless of that. And we're like, what the fuck? We come back here, and like, we come back and we're like sitting out in front. Just like 5-10 minutes after that happened, some guy drives by, throws a whole fucking like thing of firecrackers out of his window after everyone's staying here.
Oh my god.
And then we met some guy that was playing in the band. He was actually in the Walgreens. Like they had him on the floor with a gun to his head. Pretty cool. Otherwise.
At a club, disco, lounge, house, basement, or block party.
Jeanette Cahias, and I remember one time I walked into Gilman, I was looking at the picture wall, and I saw a picture of me up there, and it really flattered me to think that they'd actually put one up of me.
Say your name.
My name's Dean.
Huh?
But you can't hold this against me. I'll plead the fifth.
Okay.
If anybody ever asks me about this.
Okay.
In 1990, when I was living here, I sort of functioned as a procurer for a San Pablo hooker.
about Gilman? Okay. Thank you.
It was real simple. No. Well, do you want the entire story?
Okay.
Well, it was real simple. She was tired of getting like robbed and raped whenever she was doing tricks down at the track, and so we got to talking about it. And I said, well, okay, well just knock on the door. You know, when it's late at night and you need to turn a trick, just knock on the door. I'll let you in. You can, you know, do your business in here, and you know. And if the guy starts giving you shit, just start yelling. I'll come in and start beating on him with the bat.
Thank you.
And she paid me $5 for every time she did that.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
So it was a mutually beneficial sort of, you know, good sound business deal.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
Say your name?
Okay. Was at the Slater Kinney show, the punk prom, and I came all dressed up, you know, in my suit and everything, and I accidentally got like so drunk. I blacked out, and when I came to, my glasses were nowhere to be found, and I couldn't see anything, and it's all a blur, but there's pictures, and apparently I passed out in my English teacher's car. Wow. That's about all. It's not really funny.
Okay, say your name. Peter Morganelli. What's your name?
Johnny Eggplant.
Okay. Okay. And so you came to see... We came to see Wet Nap and the Hellbillies. Have you been here before? Yeah. What did you... I don't know. I don't know what to ask. Anything interesting happened when you were here? A lot of... I don't know. You don't know? Okay. Thanks. Anything interesting happened to you? Anything at all?
I fell down and scraped my elbow.
Why? What happened?
I was skating and I hit a water thingy.
Wow. I did that once and I was laughing forever because... What? You want a sucker? Yeah. Yeah? Can she have a sucker? Okay, we have apple, and we have watermelon, cherry. I think we have grape. What kind of flavor do you want? I can't hear you. What? Orange? What flavor did you want? Watermelon? Yeah. Okay, let me get you a watermelon sucker. We have strawberry too. Do you like strawberry? We should have a watermelon here somewhere. What's your name? Kitty. Hi, I'm Lauren. Where'd I go? I can't find any watermelon. Where's the watermelon? No, I can't find any watermelon suckers. We have cherry and strawberry and grape and apple. But I can't find any watermelon. I don't know why. We usually have them. Watermelon. That one's cherry. Is that good? You're welcome. Thank you.
Did you get the right guys?
Say your name.
My name's Crystal, and I want to talk about this little shithead. Am I allowed to say shithead? Okay, cool. Okay, there's this guy that, like, fucked with Stephanie's boyfriend. And, huh? Okay, I'm talking loud. Anyways, can I go outside with this? I'll be back. I'll talk to it on the way. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm walking out. Here I go. I'm walking around. I'm going out the door. There's lots of people. There's lots of people. Lots of people. Lots of people. Lots of people. Okay. I'm outside by myself. I don't want to be by myself though, because everyone will think I'm talking to myself or really fucking retarded for talking to a little machine. But there's no one to talk to. Hi. Now I'm talking to people I know. I'm supposed to be telling a story to my friend Lauren about Gilman.
Lauren.
Oh.
Would you like to say something?
No.
Okay. No one wants to say anything. So I'm gonna go talk to myself. No, I have to tell her a story and fuck you. And
That was mean.
and I
love you.
Okay. Well, I'm going now to go talk, and I'm using up her tape. Bye. Okay, I'm going to walk up the street. Now, one night I was walking and I saw these two people fighting. One happened to be my friend Matt, which is Stephanie's boyfriend, and the other was this little buck-toothed little shithead named, what the fuck was his name? Sean, and he's a real dumbass. And I walked up and Sean was thinking that he was the shit and was telling Matt that he was gonna kick his ass. So I had to get into it, and I told him that if he didn't leave, I would whoop his ass myself. And he started laughing, and I said, "Do you like your little fucking septum ring? I'll pull that shit right out." Yeah, it was kind of funny at the time. But anyways, he kept on talking to Matt and saying he called him Weasel Boy several times, and I came up with the little thing, and I said, "Well, you call him a weasel when, look at you, you can't even fucking keep your teeth in your mouth," because he looks like a beaver and like his teeth stick out and he's really funny looking. Anyways, oh, now I see Lauren. So I kept on talking to him, telling him, blah, 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 blah. I said, a better man walks away from a fight. So me and Matt walked away, and then I walked back to the little shithead and said, "I used to think you were cool, but now you're just a punk bitch." Get him. And now there's a cop that's hopefully gonna get someone. Okay, the cop is going. No lights are present. I don't think they're going after him. Anyways, that's the end of my story. I ended that with, "I thought you were cool and now you're just a punk bitch." So that's it, and good night.
Okay, my name is Jossie, and over by the side door one time there was a truck parked in front of it, so you couldn't open the door all the way, and then all of these guys just like all together worked together and moved the truck out of the way.
I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. So that's it.
Cool. Thanks.
That's all I have to do. Okay.
I was Anarchy, no, Weasel, no, you can't say anything, because this is my turn. I just turned 12, and I came down here, and this guy I'd never met, who's now a friend of mine, Cassidy, asked me if I wanted to go drink with him, because his friend wasn't here, and so we went to go drink, and on the way we saw his friend who brought a fifth of tequila. So we drank a pint of rum and a fifth of tequila. It was the first time I'd ever had hard liquor. And I drank so much, but I didn't realize I was that drunk. Then we smoked weed, and then I got up and fell right down and crawled back to Gilman and blacked out. And apparently I tried to throw myself in front of cars, screaming, "Let them hit me, let them hit me." And 5 people had to hold me down going, "We love you, Liesl, we love you, Liesl." And I sang "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" in the office while Jesse Blatz yelled at me about calming down, and I screamed, "Who the fuck are you?" at him. And everyone laughed at me, and yeah, basically I just fell around all night, and one of the most embarrassing nights of my life. And I woke up with a hangover. I don't even remember where. At the press. I woke up with a hangover at the press, and then Jux made me walk 2.5 hours from the press here.
Damn.
Because there wasn't room in his car. I was very hungover, and that's the end of my story. Da-da-da.
Okay, this is Crystal again.
Okay.
Who is
this? White trash. No, I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever the fuck band this is. Threw out a bunch of little fucking candies. Not Wet Nap, because I got the little thing from Wet Nap, and it was really cute, and it says, "You fuck pig,"
I didn't know.
from Wet Nap. And it's got a little toucan on it that says, "Just for you, Valentine." And it's fucking retarded looking. Anyways, this band that's playing right now threw me, well, not threw them to me, but to the crowd, a bunch of those little fucking sweetheart candy things for Valentine's Day. And you know, they normally say, "I love you," and "You're 10," and "Be mine," and "Yes," and "I hope," that kind of shit. I got ones that said, "Email" and "Fax me." Not to mention, I got 2 that said, "Fax me," but I ate the other one. But still, these ones I'm keeping, and I'm putting them on my wall. Yes. And you know what I'm going to do with these? I'm going to tape them to my wall.
There you go.
He uses the box.
And I'm going to write, "What the fuck is this world coming to?"
but there's email and fax me.
And fax me up fucking candy hearts.
There was another one that said www.cupid, but I ate that one too because it was lame. That is sick and wrong.
It's like.
Welcome to the information page.
Okay, that's all.
My name's Scott. I came here for Op Ivy's last show and it was really crowded.
Okay, thank you.
Who's laughing at you, basically? And I was 17, it was really crowded.
What guy was it? If I have no insight.
And Dave Mello made faces.
I'm only wearing a pair of rubber pants and I'm letting squirrels run around in them. Oh, they tickle. It tickles. Ooh! Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
Okay, so let's see. One of my first Gilman experiences without L, Lawrence, was one night I was with Shenton and this girl named Jessica. And it was just some stupid show, and I don't know what show it was. And I was just some innocent little girl that had never seen fights before. And somebody pulled a knife on the security guard, Mocha, who was working then. And Mocha decided to run into Gilman and get two really big sticks and beat the shit out of the guy. The cops came, punks were running everywhere, and I wrote a haiku about it for my freshman year poetry book. It was really, really funny, and I got an A on the poetry book because of it. And, well, yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Are you done?
One of the beautiful things about Gilman is that it evolves, and it evolves in a way that opens people's minds up in new ways. And one of the evolutions that has happened here is the tolerance for hardcore music, and that hasn't really happened before. And by having shows here and having people get to know them, and having the hardcore kids meet the punk kids, and coming to shows, that there's been more of an understanding on both sides, and people start going to different shows. And there used to be more trouble or more fear about trouble in the beginning, and as more and more shows happen here, even people that would never have even thought of booking shows here, other than myself, have started booking them and encouraging them to be here. And it's really beautiful that that's happened, and it's happened over time. It's not something that happens right away. It's like probably a 2-year process. But now there's shows here that happen, once a month, every month and a half, or once a month or something, where we have a hardcore show, and it's beautiful. Young kids come out, straight edge kids. Doesn't help the pick and pack bar up the street, because most of the kids that come to the show don't frequent the buying of beer, but it's easier for the cleanup crew because they don't have to go around picking up a lot of bottles. Not that all hardcore kids don't drink, but a lot of them are straight edge, and I think that's great. I'm not straight edge, but I support it, and I just like to see kids have a place to come to Gilman where they can let off their anger in a safe, contained space without hurting other people. And that's what hardcore is good for, and it opens people's minds up to some of the ideas that hardcore is about: self-respect and respect for your environment, respect for animal rights, not to be pushed around by the government. And I like to see that happen, and it is, and it's strong, and it's going good, and it's peaceful. And that's about it for now. Thanks.
My name is Ed. Okay, so there was this guy on crutches, and then this other guy, who will henceforth be referred to as Asshole. So Asshole grabbed this guy's crutch. I don't know who the guy was. So he grabbed this guy's crutch and started swinging it around. Oh, look at me! And then he ran out the door, and half the club ran out after. This was during Chaos Days, of course. So he dives under a van with pretty much everyone in the club trying to kill this guy. And it was a lot of fun. Me and I guess it was you and Nando were all working. All we were doing was trying to pull people off, and they kept swarming in there.
Was that the night I beat Aaron up, or was that the night after?
I don't think it was the night you beat Aaron up, but that's a beautiful story. Good segue here.
Later, please.
Okay.
So tired.
Thank you, Ed.
Sean Jason Goad the first and only. Okay. I'm eating falafel sandwich, by the way. So these guys called the Insurgents, this gang of total worthless hoods from Berkeley who live in the suburbs and get dropped off and have ATM cards and pretend like they're really dirty punks like to come make trouble. So they got their nose broken, 2 of them, in one night, thanks to my brother Hawk. I'm standing around after the show, just hanging loose, looking for a little, everything's calmed down, those guys are gone. They send this girl with a 10-foot green mohawk in. I'm just standing in the middle of the club looking around, show's over, the lights are on, people are leaving. All I know is I got the wind knocked out of me. The girl jumped up and drop-kicked me in the stomach. I'm hunched over, can't breathe, threatening to fucking call the world against her. Call the police, go do something. And everybody was so dumbfounded. Everybody's so dumbfounded today. They didn't do anything and just watched her leave because they just couldn't believe that she did that. And I'm meanwhile, after I catch my breath 10 minutes later, I'm like, where'd she go? What'd you guys do? We watched her leave. And that's my story.
I got an insurgent story.
Let's do that again.
Okay. You know what my little brother looks like?
No.
He's about, used to weigh about 200 pounds. I weigh 160. He's, so he's kind of big. He's got bright dyed blonde hair. And me, I had this goatee at the time. I look a lot different than he does. Joe Insurgent, arguably the smartest of all the insurgents,
Just saying a lot.
got in a fight with my brother one night. And then every time he came here, he says, "This is the faggot that threw me out," pointing to me like.
I've ever been violated here, physically. Nobody's ever laid a hand on me in the 5 years I worked here, besides that one time a girl dropped me.
Joe Insurgent?
Go ahead, Dan. Yeah, it was a girl Insurgent, an undercover one.
I got sucker punched once by, God, I don't even know who it was. I guess that's what made it such a great sucker punch. But yeah, so the point is, Joe got me and my brother confused every single time he came here. He was always drunk, so I'd tell him, "Hey Joe, guess what? That was my brother." And then he'd come back the next week, "And this is the faggot that threw me out last time."
Intelligence. Thank you.
Hey, anytime.
Your name?
Mike. My first night working. Actually wearing a shirt and everything. When the insurgent guys started coming around. And I was standing up front and Jeremy came up to me and handed me his shirt and the walkie-talkie and said, "I'm going down the road to beat Aaron up." And I stood there for about 5 minutes just wondering what to do, and finally I just picked up the radio and I said, "Charles, Jeremy went down the road to fight." And next thing you know, 5 staff members come out, run down the road, and Jeremy comes back first with swollen knuckles and blood on him, and then Aaron came down with 2 people carrying him, just a bloody mess, and they put him up against the wall and he just slid right down the wall and just had this look of death on him. He was dead. And that's my story.
Thank you.
So one of the first times that I remember, my name's Zara. One of the first times that I remember being here alone on a Sunday was this guy Matt was doing, the booker guy was doing security, and we had Mocha and Nando. Okay, and this is the last